Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn and welcome to the channel. We have some more reaction content for you, and today we are checking out the Ambition trailer for Final Fantasy XVI. And boy, what a name is that, right? Ambition. So just a real quick small minute backstory. One, I'm a fucking tool when it comes to Final Fantasy 15, alright? I'm not gonna lie, I'm a tool. If it's got the words Final Fantasy on it, there's a good chance that I either will buy it or have already bought it. I'm very well aware of that. I am very aware of my biases. That said, I normally will still try to keep a open mind about criticisms of the game. I feel like blind fandom is not how you should do these types of things. I was sold on Final Fantasy 16 before I had bought Final Fantasy 15, okay? Just because I was like, I'm gonna buy it, I don't care. But there was also the question of that Final Fantasy 15, despite its pretty impressive sales numbers, was not received all of that well, and people felt that Square Enix had been going in a bad direction for a really long time. Basically, since, like, when was Final Fantasy 13 released? 2009, I think? Or was it 2006? Maybe, either way, you get the idea. And with that, like, Final Fantasy 13 through Final Fantasy 15, which was 7 years, and even after Final Fantasy 15, there was just so much criticism of the brand and franchise of Final Fantasy. And with Yoshi P, the director of Final Fantasy 14, taking over the project for Final Fantasy 16, people were curious where that was going to be, because Yoshi P is very beloved as the Square Enix, as well as Creative Business Unit 3, which is the development team behind Final Fantasy 14. And somehow, man, those poor developers, they're managing to work on Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy 16 at the same time. God tier. Good job, everybody. So I also appreciate, though, that this trailer, which is called Ambition, feels so fitting for Yoshi P, who I have a significant amount of faith in, but is very, very ambitious with the things that he's doing in Final Fantasy 14 and the things that it looks like he's wanting to shoot for with Final Fantasy 16. So I'm sure the part of the ambition has more to do with Clive and the story surrounding Final Fantasy 16, but it just, to me, also speaks about the ambition that the developers have going into this game. But let's actually see what ambition they have to show us in Final Fantasy 16. They sucked for almost as long as they were good. Ow.
It has been 1,500 years since the fall of our forebears.
Since we've had a good Final Fantasy. 1,500 years.
Has been slowly dying. Ever
Damn. I think we said that at the same time. You were saying damn about my statement. I was saying damn about how the game looked.
We're in the middle of the Deadlands.
The blight sucked this place dry. Meaning no trees, no birds, and no magic.
Darkness spreads as day gives way to twilight. The mother's flame now all but a flicker.
We cannot live without the blessing of the crystals. And the
Blessing to your art directors and art team.
You have been blessed, Joshua.
But who shall claim their fading light? The Grand Duchy of Rosaria, bastion of tradition.
At the very least, we must secure Drake's breath.
The Holy Empire of San Brek, where ambition is divine.
The Imperial banner shall fly over every city in storm. All shall bow before their emperor.
He had proper lip flaps, oh my god!
Fortunes shift with the desert sands.
And what of our wise rulers? Goaded into war without any thought as to what chaos it might reap.
Chaos. We've got to kill chaos. Jack, was that you?
Their souls were sullied with
Kinda
the
looked like him.
stain of ether. I merely cleansed them of their corruption.
Or the kingdom of Waloed, indomitable in its isolation.
The dark swallows more of the realm with each passing day.
Sex in Final
As the
Fantasy
fringes
confirmed?
fade, the people flock to the mother crystals.
From a single spark, will the land ignite? In the year 860, the Imperial army will march upon Rosaria. And from the slaughter shall a new shadow rise. To fall upon the dominants, painting their destinies black as night.
Our ability to summon beasts of great might should command respect, but instead has left us outcasts.
And so I became their puppet. What makes them think they have the right to use us? To leave us to die when our bodies are spent?
I'll crush him! Flame!
You are fucking cool looking. Holy shit. This game is gonna be so fucking cool to just look at.
It is you who shall bow to me!
Very well. Come then. Show us the strength of your will.
Rise, ye crownless kings. A reckoning is upon you. A war of the icons.
Good God, that trailer was awesome. Holy crap. Okay, so like I'm really plugged into Twitter, right? I'm like really plugged into Twitter. So when this trailer went out, I didn't watch it immediately because I wanted to do this video, but I saw everyone else's reactions to it. And people were just talking about how good this trailer was, and it's like, is it that good? Yes, it is that good. Holy crap. Give me this modern Final Fantasy IV looking shit. Just give me this game. Well, if it's one thing Final Fantasy games do, they look really pretty. It's true. That's a standard that they've been trying to hold themselves to for a really long time. But damn, that was so chilling. What is this game rated? Like, okay, likely mature 17 plus. Okay, that's fair. That's respectable. I was like, because we got a blood covered like 10-year-old here that just watched, I'm guessing, like his guardian be decapitated, and there was very naked people at one point in this, and if they're just allowing it to be rated M, fine by me, right? That was one of the concerns that I had with Final Fantasy VII Remake, is that Final Fantasy VII is a really dark game, and a lot of dark shit happens in those games, and I was like, it's going to be hard with modern visuals for you to keep that rated T. Now, mind you, Final Fantasy VII Remake is rated T, but it looks like they just said, you know what, it's fine. Like, we're going to just make the game that we want to make, and if we get rated M, we get rated M, which is great, honestly, because it not being held back by your rating means that you can just do what you want to do and not have to try and rebuild things in a way that allows them to be more palatable for the ratings bureau. And it looks like just generally they're having a really, really dark world overall, which is fine by me. That looks great. That looks fantastic. I think they've always had very adult themes, but were reined in by the restrictions of the ratings. Well, and it's also a change in the times, too. And because, I mean, like, there's people unaliving themselves or attempting to in, like, Final Fantasy VI and stuff like that. But back then, even in, like, Final Fantasy VII, the original Final Fantasy VII was also rated T, despite having some wild themes in it. And with that, though, I think part of it is also visual presentation. You were able to get away with more, and obviously I'm just speaking on pure speculation and opinion. I feel like you were able to get away with more in like games like Final Fantasy VI and Final Fantasy VII because of the visual styles that you had in them. Things like different types of assault, different types of unaliving attempts and stuff like that. But because it's a pixel art character, or it's, you know, like Roblox, you know, like the weird blocky polygon guys, and instead of, you know, you visually seeing somebody beat the ever-living shit out of somebody, you just see this little polygon character waving its hands up and down, you know? It's very, the presentation of it is very different from what we get with games like this today, because trying to do some of those scenes with this level of graphical fidelity and this high quality art direction makes that impact of those moments completely different because of the way that you are being presented them and experiencing them. And that makes a very significant difference in what the rating will give. I'm sure also things have changed within the ratings bureau over the last, 25 years. But it still makes a pretty significant difference. M-rated games were more hardcore back then. It wouldn't have been from themes. It would have been because a dude got his spine ripped out, or in Parasite Eve's case, because the floor was covered in skeet. I mean, there was specific things that could cause it, but today, they still handled some pretty mature things with Final Fantasy VII Remake, despite it keeping its T rating. But keeping within that T rating, it definitely altered the way that some things could have been presented versus the way that they were presented as a T rating in the original game. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That looks great. Summer 2023, hand it over. Will it actually be summer 2023? I don't know. I hope so, but, you know, we live in the age of game delays, so we'll see what actually ends up happening. Final Fantasy 16, everybody. I haven't ordered it yet, but this is a game that I will pre-order. I don't encourage you to pre-order games because it's not healthy for the what's the word that I want? It's not healthy for the, not the economy, not the franchise. It's not healthy for video games, okay? It's not good for on the consumer end of things to pre-order games. That said, if it's a game that I know that I'm going to buy no matter what anyway, i.e. Final Fantasy 16, I'll do it, okay? Because it doesn't matter in that circumstance. So, all that said, let me know what your thoughts are on Final Fantasy 16, this trailer, or just the series and franchise in general as a whole. I'd love to hear from you. Put your thoughts down in the comments below. If you want to keep the conversation elsewhere, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can check out together live on stream. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. And if you do go to one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy.
Thank you.